Welcome to YOUCANIC. Today here in YOUCANIC we have a 2019 Chevy Trax. And on the Chevy Trax we are going to go over how you'd replace your rear brakes and the rotor. So to start with, we have raised the vehicle, supported on jack stands, and removed the tire, and now we can gain access to the caliper, carrier, and the rotor to be able to remove those. We have this screw right here, which is a set screw to hold the rotor on so it doesn't flop around while you're working on these other components. So first we will be removing these two size 13 bolts, and then we have size 15 bolts that hold the carrier on. So we need to remove these size 13 bolts, but this one's spinning, so you're going to need a narrow type wall wrench to be able to get in between there, or a pair of pliers to hold it. Top one undone. Work on the bottom one. Same concept. So, got the two size 13 bolts out, and now you'll be able to remove this caliper away from the brake pads. We're going to hang this caliper up here, not to have a lot of stress on the brake line itself. And we're just going to leave that there for the moment, and we will come back to the procedure that we need to do to be able to press this piston back. Okay, so while we still have this here, we're going to go ahead and remove the glide pins and be able to clean off the old grease and put the new grease on. We've got the new brake caliper grease on here, specifically designed for the glide pins and brake caliper portions that need to be lubed. It's a high temperature grease. Okay, so we've got the new grease there. I like to insert and spin it just so that it coats the whole thing around. And now we're good there. Let's go ahead and pop the brake pads off themselves. And then the shims, because we have new ones, we'll pop those off. So we've got that. Now we'll need to remove the carrier in order to be able to remove the rotor to be able to replace that. Now the carrier is a size 15. Alright, so we've removed the carrier. While we're at it, we're going to clean off the dirt and grime corrosion on here by using a wire brush to keep that dust off and to clean off oil residues. Now, to remove this rotor, we want a T30 to be able to undo this, a little set screw. And if the set screw is missing and or broken, no worries. It's just here to hold the rotor so that it doesn't flop around when you're working on it. Right, now you just got to tap it. May need a bigger hammer to be able to remove this. But you would remove this and be able to clean up all the corrosion you can, the best you can. We're reusing this rotor. It's got some surface rust on it, really, but it's in very good shape. And for the amount of miles on this vehicle, it's not worth replacing. So, but otherwise, you would take your new rotor and you just put it on in the reverse order. line up your set screw if you have it. If you don't, just use a lug nut and take that lug nut in hand tight to hold your rotor in place while you're doing the work of putting the carrier and the caliper and all those components back on. And old rotor, new rotor, we're going to coat this with some brake cleaner to make sure we get all the oil residue off of the rotor, because we want our brakes to stop. You especially do this on new rotors because they put a coating of an oil on them so that they don't rust in shipment. So we got that. We can go ahead and put our carrier back on and tighten the size 15 bolts. And you can preload this with the brakes if you want, or just put the carrier and then put the brakes in it. Make sure that's good and snug. Now we have the new shims to put on and line them up, and then just be able to press down on them. To be able to lock it into place. Okay. Those are crimped into place. And then we have our new brake pads to put on. And we have the wear sensor that's on here. You're going to want to put it on the inside of the rotor. We're going to take a teeny bit of brake caliper grease, put on the edge there. Well, so we're having a little bit of a, just need to make sure that these are down all the way, clearly, because I'm getting too much resistance. Clearance that we need. Now, being that we didn't preload, you want to make sure that you put this wear sensor, which is where sensor is made, so that when you put this into place, this will make a very loud, annoying noise if you hit the brakes and your brake pads are getting low. But we put that one in first on the bottom, and then we are able to slide the top one in. Do a little bit more of the grease. One thing you're going to know too, we got the two pins here. Those go on the outside, and the other one doesn't have pins in the middle because that's where it has one pin, but that's where the caliper piston will hit. Right? So the brakes are put on, and they are sitting into place. Now this is where we have a few technicalities here. So, because this is the e-brake is built into this, so we need to spin this backward to be able to push it back. You use your standard brake pusher, it will not push this back unless you spin it backward. So what you need is a spinner tool. There's various tools out there, but you line up the right holes and indentations, and then be able to get this in there. So we bring this up to hand tight here, and then on my tool we're going to need something to hold this, and something to go in here, and this goes right-handed to spin the caliper backward. And you're going to see it spin, you know, if you get it in there right. And as you're spinning in, it is twisting that caliper piston backward. And you're going to get it in, it's going to give you that resistance, and so you know you're all the way backed in. Now, one thing you're going to want to do, you need to note that you need these the backing on there to line up. Once you spin it all the way back in, you want to bring this back, spin it back to the left a little bit, because we right hand spun it back in. We spin it back to the left a little bit to make sure that these are in the same orientation, so that that little pin that's on the back of the pad will line up into there. So once we've been able to depress that back, now we can go ahead and install this and put it back over here. Tighten our number 13s. So those are tightened up. The next thing you'll need to do is we need to manually activate the emergency brake, and as we do that, it will push out this caliper. It's a little different than your front brake, where your front brake you can depress it by hitting the brake pedal, but the reverse one, we need to manually activate this, and as you do this, it's going to press out the emergency brake. And then you're going to see you can't go down any further like you used to be able to go all the way down. That means that it's in the lock position, and you'll notice that you don't have any gap on between your brake pads and your rotor like you would have when you had spun that back. And when you do that, it pushes that piston out, and that piston comes out straight, and then that little pin lines up on the back of the brake pad. So that's how you, and then you would go ahead, put your tire back on, put the vehicle down, and tighten your tire to spec, torque your tire to spec. And so that's how you would replace your rear brake pads and rotor on a 2019 Chevy Trax. Thanks for watching YOUCANIC, where you can be the mechanic.